feet. Here's your starting lineup for Toasted STL. Tom Franklin, the man called Wags, Scott Tobin, and Blues Fan Reacts.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Michael Wags, Wagon Connect, here for you on just a quick edition of Toasted Tavern. Not a whole lot to talk about tonight because the Cardinals absolutely sucked. That's what happened tonight. They hosted the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight, a team that coming into tonight was 20 games under 500, 15 and a half games out of first place, and they got 4 hits against them. 4 hits. Ended up an 8-2 loss. I want to thank all of you that followed me on Twitter tonight as I was live streaming the game from Busch Stadium. And yes, I'm not coming to you from Busch Stadium because just like the Cardinals, the Wi-Fi didn't show up downtown at Busch Stadium tonight either. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of the game right here, right now. And like I said, not a whole lot to really go on as far as the Cardinals are concerned. Carlos Martinez was not great. He continues to struggle. He had moments tonight, but it was moments that he got himself into and out of. A couple of different times he had multiple runners on base and was able to get out of it, but it's still putting yourself into that position. 7 walks tonight for Carlos Martinez. And I know this team is one of the worst walks to 9 innings ratios in the league, but 7 walks from your starter. Yes, he does go 5 innings tonight, gives up 5 earned runs. But you don't walk 7 batters in a game. And yes, cool. You're absolutely right. We're going to talk about this in a second, but it's the hitting too. Fire Jeff Albert. I mean, what is this team's hitting philosophy right now? Because what I saw tonight was just pathetic. It was balls ground into the dirt, nothing hard hit. I think the Cardinals, for the most part, had 3 hard hit baseballs, and 2 of them were outs directly to the left fielder. This is basically where hitters go to die. My brother and I were at the game tonight. It's exactly what he said. He goes, great hitters come to St. Louis, and for some reason in the last couple of years, it's just to come here to die. You've got guys like Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado, guys that have hit in the past and have hit okay here, but they're not doing enough. And even when they do enough, you don't have anything behind it to really push them forward. You don't have guys getting on base ahead of them. And yes, they dropped Tommy Edman down to 6th in the lineup tonight. That was the big change. That was the big change Mike Schilt promised us last night was, let's see. Dylan Carlson into the 1 spot. You dropped Tommy Edman down to the 6th hole. Paul Goldschmidt moved up to 2. That was the big shakeup. Come on. You've got guys like Nolan Gorman down in the minors. I mean, Scott and I talked about this last night. You almost have to sit there and bring some of these guys up and really force the issue with some of these veteran players. Bring up a Nolan Gorman. I know Matthew Liberatore didn't have a great game tonight, but he struck out 9, retired 14 of the last 16 batters he faced. I believe he gave up a 4 or 5 earned runs, so it's not like he was not getting hit. But when you strike out 9 and then finish out 14 of 16, that's something that the Cardinals just cannot do. And I don't know where to go with this team. It's unbelievable. And some trades need to be done for the bullpen, and hopefully that is a good spark for the team. Here's the thing, though. What moves are you going to make? What team are you going to go to and say, hey, we can offer you a Tommy Edman, or we can offer you somebody like a Paul DeYoung. You give us a reliever that's going to make a difference. That's the whole thing. We don't have anything of value right now, and you're not going to give up your top prospects. And if you are, that just goes right into what John Mozeliak was talking about a couple weeks ago about how this team has no urgency or need to win now. If you have no need to win right now, get rid of your top end prospects. Do it. Go make the big trades. Get a Max Scherzer. Get whoever you want that will require these top end talent, prospects. Go out there and do that. Just get rid of it. But if you're going to say that you have no urgency to win this year after bringing in Goldschmidt and Arenado, and you're not playing these top end prospects, you're basically talking out both sides of your mouth. And that's the thing that's just driving, I think, fans absolutely bonkers, is the fact that you're getting 2 different types of conversations from the same person, and yet nothing is going on. That's the thing. Nothing is going on. This team couldn't use Albert Pujols? Really? You couldn't use a guy like Albert Pujols in this lineup? not as a everyday player, but even as a pinch hitter. When Matt Carpenter came up tonight, it was like, ooh, Matt Carpenter, he's going to get us back into this game. No, but if you bring up Albert freaking Pujols in that spot, even if you're down 8-1 at that point, people are going to get excited. And the pitcher is still, damn, this is still Albert Pujols. He's lit it up in LA for the Dodgers right now. He could do the same thing here. He could have done the same thing here in St. Louis. I just don't know what this organization is thinking right now. It's not like the Blues. Tom Stillman today said he's going to spend to the cap because this team's window is still open. And that's what you want to hear out of your owner. And we don't hear anything from Bill DeWitt. We don't hear anything from John Mozeliak that really speaks to us and says, yeah, you're going to do it. He made a comment a couple weeks ago about the fact that you're going to see a bunch of changes on this team. And we have yet to see anything. The only thing that we've seen is Lars Nootbaar come up. And he's been okay. He has. He's brought a bit of a spark for himself. He's been a contributor in 3 of the 5 runs the Cardinals have scored since he's been brought up. That's it. Like he that's it. I just don't know what they're doing. And I'd like to hear what Edmund did say in the post-game presser today. So Darkness, if you have that comment, pop it in the comments and we can talk a little bit about that, because I don't see an urgency from this team. I don't see a desperation from this team. I don't see a work ethic from this team whatsoever. You want us to get excited because you beat the Marlins a couple weeks ago? Wow, okay, it's the Marlins. You're playing last place teams. You're playing the Tigers. You're playing the Pirates. You're going to be playing the Diamondbacks. Before you know it, all those teams are going to pass you, and you're going to be the last place team that people are going to look forward to playing because you can't do anything. You can't hit. You can't pitch. You can't field. That's about it. Let's see if we can get this link to the presser up real quick, as my good buddy Tom has sent that over to us. Because, it's perfect. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can find that. Here we go. Edmund, I don't think we've necessarily done the greatest job of making a game plan for how guys are going to throw us day by day and working on things pregame. I think we're going to start to implement a few more of the. How has this not been a thing? How has this not been a thing? You're not prepared? How are you not prepared a quarter of the way through the season? My goodness. I'll just say this. I'm glad I had a couple of beers tonight, because I cannot. This has to be on Jeff Albert. It has to be on Mike Schultz. I can't even understand it anymore. It's frustrating because this team has always been at the top. They've always been at the top. And now the last couple of years, they just have fallen downhill. And in regards to Albert Pujols, honestly, he probably would have done even better here at his home. Albert has been treated like shit at the Angels the last few years. I don't think it was more so that he was treated poorly in LA. I just think LA didn't market him well. They don't market themselves well. I mean, you've got the greatest player in the game right now in Mike Trout, and he's not promoted. People don't go to their games because they don't know who Mike Trout is. It's just poor in LA as far as the Angels are concerned. I don't think it's a matter of the fans hating Albert. The Angels just don't know how to construct a team. They've never focused on their pitching, which is what they need to do. And they've gotten some of the best hitters in the game, and yet they can't do anything with it because they can't have guys pitch. Shohei Ohtani is their best pitcher, and yet he's also their best hitter. If that doesn't tell you what the Angels organization is all about, that's it right there. That's absolutely it. So yeah, Albert definitely would have done even better here because he was coming back home. Although there may have been a little bit of pressure coming back here, and if he would have failed, it may have tarnished his image here a little bit, but I don't see that being the case. And yeah, I mean, I feel bad too for Trout, Rendon, Ohtani. Those guys are basically having their best years used up. And it's really, really sad. You really almost hope that, Trout does get a chance to go to Philadelphia and play for the Phillies at some point. You just hope that is definitely something that he probably needs to do. Yeah, like I said, the Cardinals game, not great tonight. Hearing those comments from Tommy Edman, it just really makes you question what leadership is actually going on with this organization. And, we talked about it last night with Scott. It doesn't seem like Mike Shilt's a guy that's going to get fired, but is it possible that they could just completely clean house and go manager, pitching coach, and hitting coach and just say, we got to get a fresh start? Do they make a move higher up? Does Bill DeWitt say, Mozeliak, Gersh, I'm tired of what we've produced and you're gone too? Or is it making moves with the players themselves? Do you bench a Goldschmidt and Arenado and Molina? Do you instill a lot of these younger players into the lineup and see what they can do? Do you really sit there and say, we're not going to compete this year? We thought we were. We're not. We're going to bring up guys like Gorman, Jordan Walker, Matthew Liberatore, Zach Thompson. Get them up here and usually experience. Maybe that's the route. Sitting on their hands and not doing anything, that's the thing that's pissing people off the most, is that nothing is being done. Nothing is changing. The biggest thing they did today was move Carlson to 1 and Edman to 6. Like, you got to do more than that. When you get 4 hits against the Pirates, 20 games under 500 coming into tonight, and you get 4 hits against them, and you give up 12 and 8 runs, come on, forget about it. Absolutely atrocious. So hopefully they can turn it around tomorrow. Maybe tonight was the low water mark for them, and they really sit there and go, okay, we have to make a turn. And maybe the comments from Tommy Edmonds sparked the management staff and the leadership to go, oh shit, maybe we aren't doing enough, and things change. The fact that you're not doing a lot of planning pregame and doing a lot of video work and all that kind of stuff, that drives me nuts. I'm a visual person. Like, I'm not a huge statistical person. I don't like, war and all that kind of stuff, but I do believe there is a coexistence that needs to happen between statistics and actual visual proof. So the fact that they're either relying completely on statistics or completely on just working on fundamentals and not incorporating everything into it, that just tells me that this management staff has no clue what they're doing. And that's sad, because Mike Schilt has had success in the minors. He's had success with the Cardinals as well. They are a second half team. It's not out of the question that they go on a run. They're only, I believe, 6 games out of first place right now. So it's not like they're out of it. It's just frustrating beyond belief. And look, I'll pop up Blues Fan Reacts comments. He goes, I don't even follow baseball, and I know this is depressing. Yeah, if you followed Twitter tonight, you knew how depressing it was. And sis, I can't believe you're still up, but I know you got 2 young kids and you guys are struggling with sickness. So I'm sorry that the Cardinals sucked ass tonight, and you probably had to watch that and experience it. And once again, darkness, the only slight hope I have is no one is really running away with the division. And that is exactly right. So it is what it is. Now, there is one good piece of information coming out of tonight, because if you guys didn't watch the whole game and you flipped over to NBC and watched the game 6 between Montreal and Vegas, you do know that the Montreal Canadiens have advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals. So congratulations, Joel Edmondson, Jake Allen. I also want to give a special shout out to Carey Price and Shea Weber, because they're going to be producing in the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in their careers, long careers, and both those guys absolutely deserve it. I hated Shea Weber when he was with Nashville. He was a bane to the Blues' existence, but you got to love the shot, and good for him and Carey Price for being able to get to the Stanley Cup Finals and screw Vegas over a chance to go back there as well. So Vegas, you're welcome. Now you guys see what the struggle is to get there, and maybe for the next 5 years you suck again. So let's hope. And then as far as the NBA is concerned, the Clippers get back in their series with the Suns, a 106-92 victory over Phoenix as they head back home. Getting Chris Paul back into the lineup was probably a bit of adjustment for Utah, but the fact that they only lost by 14 gives me hope that they're going to be able to finish this series out actually a little bit quickly. Kawhi was out tonight as well, so we'll see if he gets back into the lineup for Game 4. If the Clippers do get this back to level, it is going to be one heck of a series. I could see it definitely going 7. I agree with Scott. I think Phoenix will eventually pull away with this series win, but it's going to be really, really tight. It's going to be very, very close. And then you got Game 2 coming up between Milwaukee and Atlanta tomorrow. Atlanta with the 1-0 series lead there. Darkness, Price and Weber have waited long enough for their cup. Heck, the whole country of Canada has waited long enough. Plus, it would be cool to see Allen and Edmondson win another cup. So I guess let's go Habs now. Now, I got to ask this, though. You still got Pat Maroon down in Tampa going for 3 in a row. You've got Scott Mayfield over with New York. Is it just because you can't stand Tampa winning another one because they're over the cap? Is it you just not like the Islanders? What is your guys' preference as to why you're rooting for Montreal? Is it because Canada hasn't won a cup since '93? What about the fact that they were down to their last game? They were on the brink of elimination against Toronto and then came back and beat the Maple Leafs, saved Mark Bergevin's job, and then just continued to roll after that. What is it that makes Montreal the team that you want to root for? I think it's because they are like the 2019 St. Louis Blues. I think they've got great goaltending. I think they've got a big, solid defensive group that prevents shots from getting to the net. They have timely goal scoring, as we saw tonight by Laakkonen. It's eerily reminiscent of 2019, and I'd like to see Montreal win it for sure. It would be great to see Pat Maroon 3 in a row. It would be nice to see Scott Mayfield raise the cup as well. So the three teams that are left, I don't think I can complain too much about who would lift the cup, but I do see why people are gravitating to Montreal. And honestly, it has been a long time. And really, if you're a hockey fan, the fact that Montreal may be the team that was the last one to win it for Canada and the next one to win it for Canada, as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, that's got to absolutely gall you. Tampa, I didn't like how they were shaded the cap, and I like the Rangers. In fact, they are tied with the Canes for my favorite Eastern Conference team, and because of that, I don't like the Islanders. Well, hey, you know what? Darkness, you would get along very well with our own Scott Tobin. He is an absolutely huge Rangers fan, and he cannot stand the New York Islanders as well. And I get the whole Tampa Bay thing with the cap issue. It totally valid argument. It's a loophole that they exploited, and that's just how it works for them. So it's been since '93 since Canada's won a cup. You had Guy Carbonneau, the captain of that team. Obviously, you had Patrick Waugh in net. You had Rob Ramage on that team, John LeClaire, Mike Keane, Todd Ewan, a former Blue, on that team as well, JJ Daigneault, Patrice Brisebois. So a lot of really good players on that 93 Canadiens team. So we'll see how they fare when they open up the Stanley Cup Finals after the Game 7 that's going to take place tomorrow between Tampa and New York. Make sure you guys check out that game. We'll have a recap of that tomorrow night as well on Toasted Tavern. I'm done ranting tonight. I have to get to bed. I got to get up early and go to work, so I can't stay up too late tonight. But just wanted to get on and kind of vent my frustrations. Let you vent your frustrations as well, because it's very, very upsetting and a little just annoying about the way this team is playing right now. So hopefully they can turn it around tomorrow. We'll see how that plays out. Make sure you catch us tomorrow night around 9 o'clock for Toasted Tavern as we recap the day in sports. And make sure you follow us on the socials. Hit the bell on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram and here on Facebook. Make sure you like the page. Once again, guys, have a great night. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
For new episodes, merchandise, and behind-the-scenes content, be sure to visit ToastedSTL.com or follow us on Twitter at Toasted St. Louis. I'm the voice of the Blues, Tom Calhoun. Let's get toasted!